Welcome to Awake with Hawa. This is part two of the 6 habits that were secretly draining my energy. If you haven't watched part one yet, I'll leave the link in the comments below. It's worth starting there. But if you are back, let's get into it because these habits I'm sharing today, these one hit hard. Let's get into it. Okay, so habit number 4. Habit number 4 is overthinking everything. Hi, my name is Hawa and I'm an overthinker. I am the queen of overthinking things. And if you're still watching, you're probably gonna recognize yourself here too. Overthinking doesn't seem like it's draining your energy at first. You're just thinking, oh, well, you're being thorough or you're being like responsible, you're being caring, but it is exhausting. And anybody that is an overthinker, I think, will understand what I mean by that. It shows up in 4 specific ways that it drains your energy without you knowing. So, first way that it shows up is replaying the same scenario in your head on a loop over and over and over again. So you think about a situation, a random situation sometimes, you think about what you should have done, what you should have said, how you should have reacted, and you run it over and over and over again in your head with different outcomes, and your brain feels busy. Your brain is actually just overloading, but nothing is moving. Nothing is moving forward. You're just thinking and thinking and thinking on a loop, and it's burning you out. What I do that I found that generally helped me when I'm in that state of, I guess, looping. I don't know if it's a word or not, but anyways, when I'm in that state, what I found that works for me is I give myself a specific deadline. If I have like a situation or a problem, I give myself a specific deadline. I'm not gonna ruminate on it. I'm gonna set a time. I'm gonna decide and move on. Easier said than done, but it is working. Having a set time, specific time of I need to decide by this day. I need to decide by this hour. And regardless of the decision, I'll just need to decide by this time. So the second thing that I found helped me specifically for this point is a while back, years back, I had a colleague that gave me this advice that I found very helpful. So she was telling me, if you have a problem, so visualize the problem in your hand. So she wanted like me to do the exercise physically so that it really stuck in my head. So if you have an issue, whether it's big or small, put your hands together. Imagine a ball or something that's like fragile that's in your hand. That's your problem. And she says, ask yourself one question. Is there anything I can do about this right now? If your answer is yes, then you take it with you and you go and you do what you need to do. If your answer is no, she says to let it go and actually do the physical act of letting it go, let it fall and break. And that sends a message to your brain to, there's nothing you can do about this. It's broken, move on. And I know it seems like seem way too simple for it to work, but I generally do it a lot of times and it does work. It does force my brain to move on from whatever is ruminating in my head. It was one of the best advices I've gotten, and something that honestly works for me, and I hope it's gonna work for you. Okay, so the second point is the constant self-doubt and second-guessing your decisions. You finally make a decision, then you immediately question it. Then you think about, oh, maybe I should have thought about this, or maybe I forgot about this. and then you do the same work 2, 3, 4 times over, and by noon you are exhausted, right? So what I do in this situation that works for me is that I practice the good enough method. Hear me out. I know it sounds kind of weird, but just hear me out. If I have a decision to make, what I do is either I write it down on a piece of paper or say it out loud and put a timing on it, and I put it away and I go do something else. And if after that time has passed and I'm still thinking about the decision and I'm not in peace with the decision, I can come back to it and then think about how I can fix it. But most of the time, honestly, I don't go back to it because I'm okay with the decision, and that tells me everything I need to know. It's easier said than done, and I know, but the goal isn't really to make the right, perfect decision. It's more to learn how to trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, our instincts, most of the time, I would say a lot of the times, I've learned over the years, your first instinct is probably closer to the right decision than you give yourself credit. We just talk ourselves out of that decision because of X amount of reasons. So if you learn to trust yourself and you trust your instincts, most of the time you don't have to re-question your decisions or have self-doubt. So the third one is the inner negative dialogue. That one is a sneaky one because it's that little voice in the back of your head that keeps telling you things that, oh, I'm tired, you shouldn't go to the gym, today is raining, maybe you should just rest because you're tired, it's too hard, what are people gonna think, oh, you can't do this. It's just there enough for you to notice, but not enough for you to understand how it affects you. So over time, when you listen to those little negative voices in your head, it compounds. And over time, what you're telling yourself creates how you're gonna feel about yourself. There is a reason why there's a lot of sayings that point to the same truth. Like, the body follows what the mind repeats. Belief shapes behavior. That one has always stuck with me because that negative voice is something that I've had for years. I think we all have it at a certain degree, but I've had it for years telling me, and I've listened to it for years also. And what I found that worked for me to work against it is, I'm not saying you need to be all of a sudden like a fake positivity person where everything is perfect, you just have to lie to yourself. That's not what I'm saying. But you do need to interrupt that little voice and shut it down as much as you can, because it's always gonna be there, right? It's always gonna give you that little doubt about yourself, that little nudge for you not to do what you know that you need to do, basically. So you need to interrupt the pattern so that you can create new patterns. So if it's telling you, oh, you can't do this, just tell yourself, oh no, I'm figuring it out. If it tells you, I'm too tired, just say, well, I need to rest. So just changing the way that negative voice is talking to you does change your mind frame, does change the way you feel about yourself, and it's not going to be as negative anymore, and you're going to create new patterns. If you are constantly on default negative, then you're going to believe that default negative. But so you need to rework your brain so that it works in a positive way. I can 1000% say and testify that this does work because I've tried it, and if I'm talking to you right now in this video, it's because it does work. And I'm not saying that you're gonna wake up tomorrow and after saying this for a week everything's gonna get fixed. No, it's a constant work. It's constantly telling yourself something different from that negative voice. if you do this, I promise you that your mindset is going to change. Your mindset is going to see all the ways, all the possibilities, all the positivity around you instead of the negativity. The fourth and last point for overthinkers is decision overload. I think this is where most, especially women, are gonna feel connected to this one and nod their heads to it, because decision fatigue is real, right? We wake up, we're thinking about what to eat, what to wear, what to do with the kids, where to go, what email we need to answer, you make so many decisions before noon. By noon, you are exhausted, you are drained, you are depleted, and you don't understand necessarily always why, because you have made 100 small little decisions every day before noon. What I found that worked for me, I automate small decisions so I don't have to make them daily. I saw this show a while back. Anyways, they were talking about Obama when he was the president, that he would wear the same suit. He has like the same suit like 1,000 times. So all he had to do is just get up and open his wardrobe and just take the suit, and it will be the same suit every single day. So that he has like one less decision to make in his day, right? So I thought about that. I was like, that is actually very clever, and how I can put that into my little daily life. So what I do is automate certain decisions in my life where I don't have to think about it to a certain extent. So first, for meals, what I do is either I'm gonna batch cook, meal prep, I guess some people call it, a few days in the week, and just that's what we're gonna eat for the rest of the week. For me, that works perfectly, and I feel like it's one less decision I have to make in my day. The other point of how I try to reduce my decision fatigue is I have structured routines. So I have my nightly routine and my morning routine. It's the same one every single day. There's changes depending on like what I'm doing, but most days I have my set routines for both night and day, and that's what I do. Every morning I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna drink this, I'm gonna like go walk or go stretch. So it's gonna repeat every single day, right? And at night also I have my set routine. By the time I get to bed, my body already knows, okay, I'm starting to like wind down, and it's the same one every single day. I feel like having at least those things out of my decision making in the day honestly does bring me a lot of peace. Okay, so let's jump into habit number 5. Habit number 5 is inconsistent sleep routine. I wish someone had told me about it earlier in my life, but it's never too late to learn about it. The lack of sleep is one of the most silent stealers of energy. It's not about like how much you sleep, it's more about like the inconsistency of your schedule, right? That really drains your energy. When your schedule is all over the place, and you don't have like a stable baseline, you wake up tired, you go through the day tired, you feel grumpy, you lack focus, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and wondering why you feel so off. It's because you already started tired, you got up tired, right? So is it because of just age? No, it's because of maybe going off of my regular routine, because of maybe not sleeping correctly the way I should be sleeping. So there's a lot that goes into your sleep routine and your sleep schedule. What I found that worked is I learned a lot about sleep cycles. If you don't know, you can research it. Basically, sleep cycles, it just tells you when you should when you should wake up versus when you should go sleep. And it calculates how many sleep cycles you need per day. It's different for, I guess, each person. And once I figured out my numbers in terms of how many hours I need to feel refreshed in the morning, when I should go to bed and when I should wake up, it changed everything for me. It changed the game. So I created 3 different levels of sleep cycles. The early bird special, I would say. So if I go to bed earlier, what time I should get up? If I go to bed during my regular time, what time I should get up? And if I go to bed late, what time I should get up? So each bedtime has a corresponding wake up time. And I calculate that way because I want to wake up at the end of my sleep cycle. And that's why when I wake up, I don't feel as tired versus waking up during a sleep cycle or a deep sleep cycle during my deep sleep. So that's where most people get it wrong. They're like, well, I slept 12 hours. I shouldn't be tired. It doesn't matter. You could sleep 5 hours and wake up refreshed versus sleeping 10 hours and wake up feeling tired because you're waking up at the wrong time, right? So you have to go and check your own sleep cycle, get your numbers, and create your own little routine that works for you. And once that's in place, I'm telling you, it's gonna change everything in terms of like saving your energy and waking up feeling refreshed. The last habit I have here is starting something and not finishing the task. So I saved this one for last because this is the one that I found the hardest for me to break. Starting something and not finishing it, projects, ideas, goals, you pour so much energy into them. You research them, you talk about them, you plan them, you do so many things around them, and then nothing happens. And then you continue to cycle with another thing, and it never finishes. And you're just draining your energy slowly, right? What I've learned over the years is that every unfinished task does open a little like folder in your brain that's just never closed. So imagine like 1,000 folders opened in your brain that you never close. That's like little energy stealers here and there, here and there, here and there. And over the time, it does accumulate and you feel tired. There's an actual like actual effect that's called. I'm gonna try and read it. I don't want to butcher the name, so I'm just gonna read exactly what I wrote in terms of like my research. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Please Google it. I'll write it down in the description. You can go check it out yourself. What I found that worked for me in this situation, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is something I'm probably gonna continue working on and still is working on. And what worked for me and is working for me right now is stopping and looking at the whole picture and then cutting it down into small steps. So instead of like focusing on the whole picture, I tried to say, okay, if I'm doing this, what is the next possible step for this to advance? And I just do that one step, small achievable goals, right? So when I made that switch, I feel like everything else worked better for me and I became less overwhelmed with like the whole big picture. So there they are. All of the 6 steps, 6 habits that have quietly drained my energy without even me realizing. So none of them feel like a big energy drainer, honestly, but that's what makes them really dangerous because they don't feel like they're draining your energy. They're just there creeping in the background, right? Here's what I want you to take away from this video. This video is not about like overhauling your whole life and making big changes and changing everything all at once. It's really just to share what I've tried and what I've worked with you. And I would say choose one of them, the one that speaks more to you. Choose that one thing and just try something different for that specific habit and see what happens. I would love to know which one resonates more with you in terms of all these habits. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if you feel like more of an overthinker, sleep cycle routine that is not correct, like which one resonates with you. Share it with us. Tell us what you do that helps you. I'm generally interested in to know like what other people are doing to figure out their habits and how they're creating new habits that are more healthy. So let's share. Let's see what other people are gonna say and what other people are doing to fix their habits. Maybe we'll get like good little nuggets to work on. So if you find this video useful and it resonates with you, share it with someone that might also feel the same. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.